Hello, guys. Welcome to the Funky Marketing Show with Mr. Ivan Dimitrievich and myself. We're back. We've been gone for a week or so, something like that. But now we're back and we're ready for another episode of the brutally honest Funky Marketing Show.
Are you ready?
Are we ready? That should be the question. But anyway, guys, it's too hot here these days. We are not used to the heat like people from Austin, from Phoenix, Arizona, and other parts of the world are. But we're trying. Air condition is working for some of us. Some of us are in the basement. But today we were thinking about what should be the topic of this week's episodes, and we came up with how to qualify people to work with you, or better, how to disqualify people and to really get to your ICP. It's an interesting topic, and the topic that a lot of people are thinking about. I've been going back and forth with not to exaggerate, but around 250 people in the last 2 days, and a lot of them ask me, like, how did you come up with the right ICP? Like, it took us 18 months, so we didn't just come up with it.
It's
It
a
took us
process.
18
It's a
months.
process.
Yeah, it's a process. It's a process through which, as we were implementing it, we were able to grow Funky Marketing to reach the nice level of monthly recurring revenue. But just like a week ago, we didn't have the ICP. And to get there, we were doing a lot of things, and maybe we should start from the very beginning, right? Because from the very beginning, we just had schedule a call and ask some specific questions, but not questions related to Okay, there were questions about the budget, but it was like up to 500 euros, from 500 to 800 euros, and from 800 euros plus. So that was the start, and we were working mostly with local clients, local companies, and while working, we were able to see where we can increase the pricing. So it was like, when you see that the person on the other end is just okay, fine, no objections about the pricing, then you need to move it up in most cases. But so we were moving it up, and we went to the place where we are now, when we start with 5,000 $5,000 per month, and then we go in the packages based on the advertising budget. But pricing is just one part of it, and it's the part that makes the company consider you a relevant fit for them. When I say relevant, I mean the company that can come to to working with clients, and the client can say, okay, we have this goal that we want to reach. This is the problem. This is the goal where we want to go, and you are the ones who will need to figure out the way we can get there. So in that way, they are consider you as an equal, and they give you opportunities to go over there. But there are a lot of things over there in questions, and we will dive into different parts of them. But Totsi, what comes to your mind when we are talking about the topic?
Well, I don't know, and I will first confirm your statement. It was like really, it requires some time and energy, and asking the right question and think about that, how we need to define from all this info, doing like initial talks, discover calls with all this company. What are like the real red flags? Because I mean, I don't know. First, because of our level of personal and professional ethics, we will not accept doing business with everyone. And we all agree on that. So we need to make a mechanism to spot all these red flags early on, because I mean it's learning by doing. Because if we start doing business with not some ideal client, things will only go harder and harder. So it was like our coping mechanism to start noticing these red flags from early on. And I don't know, I prefer to first look at like not so obvious things. So I prefer to start looking their team structure. So if I see some things or some missing positions in their structure, I would start being suspicious and I would start digging more and more. And usually for me, that's like the first red flag. Not sure what is like your first and most obvious red flag, but if I see missing position in marketing department, or I don't know, merge the marketing and sales department in one. So if I see positions, for example, head of marketing and sales, it can be a little bit tricky for me, because I start thinking about, hey, are this company really have like all things set properly? Are they ready for us or no?
You mean in most cases, if that's the situation, they're just doing sales, right?
Yes, in 95% of situations, they're just doing sales.
Yeah, but it's interesting. Like also, if you see that they have divided where marketing is going after MQLs, sales is going after SQLs, that means that there isn't an alignment in the company, and they're doing it wrong. Or those are kind of the things that you see and that are kind of tricky. I like to look at the company culture, and I like to look as if the way their differentiation is being done. So what do I mean by that? I mean, culture is the way employees are talking about the company. So you can go into um, all kind of platforms when employees gives the reviews. So you can actually see the feeling of people working in the company. You can go to social media and see if they're active and talking about themselves. It means that
Especially ex-employees.
yeah, it means that no, but on social media, it means that if employees are sharing things and talking freely about different stuff, especially things related to the work, it means that that they have the freedom to do it, that nobody is pressuring them. But if I only see content related to the company, like they are bots of their company, that's a red flag. Also, if I see the CEO who is just posting things um, related to the company, to the team, not sharing his or her thoughts, also like posting only articles that his or her team are writing for them, those kind of things, PR articles. It's a red flag. I don't want to work with those people. But the most important thing is we try to differentiate ourselves through the content, through the way we position ourselves as funky marketing, the way we do things. And I think it eliminates a lot of people because we are direct, we are loud, as people from Serbia are, right? In most cases, but and we are not quiet when we see that things are not being done well.
That's true. That's true.
That eliminates a lot of companies, especially not like I like to look at the way you are creating content from the start. If like actually Tots is a great guy and everything, but he was creating content in a way because he was pissed off on the things that companies were doing wrong and they were doing badly. And each post was like over those people, and and I think some of the people consider us not only because of that, Don't get me wrong, but people consider us as, direct, honest, even too much into some of the things. I mean, you remember one of us, our ex clients from Switzerland. She told us, like, I was thinking, like, do I really want to work with the guys that are that much opinionated and allowed about the things that are being done, good or bad. And she figured out, well, that's exactly what I need in a way. Yeah. So and that's what we want. We want companies that realize what we are doing, what we want to do. And I don't want to work with companies that I need to convince that what we are providing as a service, it's good for them.
And usually another thing is when you have like employees like not completely freely about posting their own content, stuff like that. Usually when we started doing business with such companies, you will very, very soon see a wall, literally a wall, because for every single post, for every single visual, you will need between 3 to 5 levels of approvals. And I mean, people, come on, we are doing things in your best interest, and our, I don't know, expertise, 10, 15 years of experience is behind us. We are doing this because of you and because of us, because we want to showcase work we done for you. We don't need 6 level of approvals and everything will stop after some time. We need to be productive, not to be perfect. And till we wait for that perfect post to be approved, just like that, the moment is gone.
Yeah, well said. I mean, that's one of the reasons I try to to reject people during the discovery calls.
That's good.
That's one thing that that my friend Mario Krivokapic, who's working in sales, told me, is like, I don't call them discovery calls anymore. I call them rejection calls.
Great.
Because I try to reject as many people as possible. Like, why do you want to work with us? Who recommended you? Someone recommended you. Like this morning, I asked. We got the inquiry via email, and they told us, like, that and that company, your clients from that and that company recommended you, and I'm like, you got me confused because they are not our clients, and I don't know anybody from that company. So can you explain a little bit, what actually happened, and can you elaborate, like, the way you think we can help, because we are doing some specific things and we are not fit for most of the companies. So she told me, like, yeah, you are not their client, but they recommended you, so I guess that's good. And it continued, but it's just an example. And also like pricing, as I mentioned from the start, is also a rejection thing, because if you don't have 5,000 euros to invest in your marketing, we are definitely not a fit for you. It means that you are still at the beginning. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean that we are working only with companies that have money. So it means that we are working with a company that already know what they are doing, in a way that they know how they are different. We are working with companies that are a lot similar like us, so that want to change the industry. They're inventing categories, that they know what their advantages are. Like, having a lower price than your competitors is not an advantage. Maybe it is an advantage today
at the moment.
Yeah, but it won't be an advantage in a few days. It just takes another company to lower their prices, and that's it. Your biggest advantage is gone just like that.
And I mean, we will talk with you, and probably we can do some consulting, but we will be brutally honest and tell you, hey, it's a good idea, but you need to fix this, and to work next 6 months, 12 months to define something. And then when you have like all things up and working, hey, maybe that will be the good time to talk with us. So we are not spoiled marketing agency. We are just brutally honest, and we will pick just the projects where we are 100% sure we can make an impact and serious, meaningful, visible impact. Because the difference on some other agencies, we love to be accountable for new revenue. We love to be accountable for results we are doing. So we are not doing business and speaking in some vanity metrics, some completely irrelevant things. We are doing some serious business with serious companies who are ready to make additional money and ready to, I mean, faster growth than usual, because in in today's world, some, like, I don't know, 10%, 20% growth is simply, it simply don't, it's not enough.
Especially when we are working with a lot of startups. Like, as I think we already mentioned in one of the previous episodes, you can grow 5 times, and it uh, can be the situation that it's not enough. So you need to think about that as well. But also, like, how do we narrow down everything based on what we said? What we said can be all summed up in, focus on the problem. What is the problem that we are solving, and who has that problem? It's not a problem, like marketing, sales, customer success, alignment, those kind of things. It's not a problem that startups that are just starting are having. Is the problems that C or D seed startups are having, and companies that already have those teams inside them. So that's like the first thing. Also, like, to be able to see what's actually working in the companies, we need companies that have been doing things before. So companies that have been doing advertising, have been trying, SEO, content, social media, communities, other things. And so we need to go in there and see, okay, you try this and this, you have done this good, these things are not done good. What can you do to actually make it right? And then we go and see, okay, out of the 10 inbound leads, 3 are converting. So why are those 3 different than the others? And when we know that, okay, we know the target group. So then we can go even with advertising, and we can try to get that group, optimize it to come with upgrade results, and then put the gasoline on the advertising, and do other things. And when we, get the core revenue right, then we can actually go and experiment with something. Then we can add the podcast. Then we can add, the content, some other things. But or we can do some of it at the same time, depending on what you have been doing before.
And it's all of this is like things we are doing in some testing first 3 months phase, because people are usually scared that we will go crazy in some, I don't know, high budget and spend like everything on ads, just testing things. No, we will just take small portion of budget, for example 10%, and we will try to see what's going on. And when we find what's working, what's not, then we will suggest to go a little bit stronger on that. When we are sure things are going good, we will go harder on that, and we will include other organic things, as you said, things from the dark funnel. So we will usually recommend doing podcasts. We will usually recommend doing some books, topic clusters, the pillar pages around some topics related to your business, and all these activities go well hand in hand. I want to ask you, besides like these obvious red flags, what do you notice when you analyze companies' websites or stuff like that? Can you notice something interesting there?
I mean, it's hard. Um, you can, but related to what we do, it's really hard to notice those things, because a lot of tech companies, if we exclude SaaS, don't have very well optimized websites.
That's true. That's true.
And you cannot see if it's just the tip of the iceberg of what they are doing. If you look at SaaS, it's a better situation, but all of them have the same websites. So again, it's not the right thing. But you can see like what's the first CTA that they are using. It's not like something that differentiates are we going to work with them or not. It's just the first phase when we are optimizing for conversions. So like are they taking people to the free demo, or they are doing free trial, or they are doing some other, depending on the business models and what they are doing. But one thing that can really help us in that way is the set of questions that we are sending them to ask before we actually start working. So it is like, how do they find sales accepted leads? How do they find sales qualified leads? What happens if the sales accepted lead is not maybe the qualified, or all those kind of questions. I don't want to nerd out here, because I know a lot of people are listening that maybe not familiar with all those things. If you want to get educated, we have everything on the website under our blog, so make sure to visit it and to kind of find the answers. But those are the questions that and the information that will allow us to see what's actually happening in the company. What's working, what isn't working, are there alignment between marketing and sales? Even who is going to fill out the form is important, because it can be the person that is working on alignment between all departments, or it can be marketing filling in a few questions and sales filling in the rest of the questions. So you can see a lot even with that.
I agree with you. Usually, because I will start first checking like all things they have. I mean, social media presence for their C-levels, what they are doing on their company pages, and I will check website. I will check blog, and usually, as you said, it's very hard to find companies that are like really differentiate from the others. Usually things are more or less generic, more or less the same. Similar boring content, similar behavior on social media. Rarely, like really, really rare, you can find people behind the brand, people with their own personal brands doing some great content, doing some bold statement, challenging the old perspective, challenging the status quo. And when you see this, it's like really, really refreshment, because we can do like really amazing impact with such crew, with such company, because usually it's not the case.
One thing that I think is extremely important for us is, because we are service-based company, and in service-based companies, people are the ones that are making the difference, and they are doing the service. So we need to showcase the people in front of the company, people who are in the company, who are doing the job. We need to showcase their expertise. We need to make them visible, and it will help us attract also the right people that want to work with our people,
especially in some positions.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting because not many service-based companies are doing that. Some are to the extent, but not many of them are actually really leveraging that. Especially if you look at developing companies and companies that are creating technology, they are not showing their people. Now, it can be that it's a competitive space, competitive market, and competitors are looking to take over your people. but there are different people in those organizations. They don't need to be engineers. They're marketing, salespeople, customer success, product people. They're different kind of people over there. C-level, vertical. So all of them can be present and can attract the right people, because people come to work with people. And I will choose to work with you if you're somebody that gives me trust, and that shows expertise, that that has the authority, and that is well respected in the community. I think those are like 4 or 5 things that are really important, and they're like a no-brainer if you're going to choose a person like that.
For example, if I see company will start doing some talk and everything, and if I see there, for example, head of content doing interesting things, and if I really see he or she is understand what should be understood, and he's doing like good job, hey, that's thumbs up. If I see their CMO or head of marketing doing interesting things, understanding modern day demand gen, understanding revenue marketing ideas, understanding marketing, sales, customer success alignment, it will be another +1 for doing business with them. But if I start not seeing things like that, it will be suspicious from the beginning, because I will not be sure if we can make some nice impact with company like that without all these things set properly.
And in the core of all the things that we talked about today is psychology. People want what they can't have. Remember that saying. If That's why like, it's people, it's pricing, it's getting to the core of things. Like, why would you work with us? What is the problem that we can solve for you? How do you see us solving the problem? Those kind of things make it more difficult for them to come and work for you. Because in our case, we made it like we don't need 1,000 clients. We need 1 or 2 per month, or a couple of them in a quarter. So we don't need a few clients, because that's how we made the structure, and that's the size of the clients that we are working with. And we want to keep it low on the people, to have like the best people inside the company, and to provide the best service. And to be able to do that, we need to work with the best clients that are the best fit for us.
Because I mean, really, if from start, if we cannot see that meaningful impact on new revenue, it will be short-term cooperation, and it's not good for you as a company. It's not good for us as a service-based marketing agency, because we want to cooperate with people where we can make an impact and we can actually help them make more money.
I mean, interesting things. And guys, I would like to invite you, all of you listening, to tell us how you are different from the others. How are you choosing your ideal clients? Go ahead, tag us on social media, write us in the comments if you're listening to this maybe on YouTube, somewhere else. Like, write us your opinion, or write a post on LinkedIn. Tell us, how are you choosing your ICP? How you are choosing between them and some other clients? Do you go for the volume, or do you go for the quality? Those kind of things. It only reflects the kind of clients that you are choosing. It all reflects on the atmosphere you will have in the team. Because if you have the clients that won't be satisfied with your service, it will reflect a lot. Their feedback will be negative. It will reflect on the team. On the other hand, if you are getting clients that your team cannot get to the point when they get the results, then again they won't be satisfied. Clients or your team. So in that way, you have to pay a lot of attention with whom you are signing, with whom you are working with, and who are you hiring in a way.
That's true, because it's two-way communication, and any additional unnecessary pressure can make things worse in both companies, and we really want to avoid that because we love our work-life balance, and that's the reason why we are choosing just to work only with few where we are sure we can be a good match.
Yeah, and trust me, it's not easy. It's not easy to come up with those few. It's not easy to choose the right few, and it takes a lot of saying no to get there.
The art of saying
a
no
lot.
is crucial. Art of saying no is crucial.
I mean, since we are keeping this honest and brutally honest, so we, even decided to start working with some companies that were bringing us a huge paychecks at the end of the month, just because we couldn't get the results based on different things like the structure inside the company. I don't know, the small companies acting like the big ones. That's problem that I'm seeing a lot of times, or because that they don't know where they want to go. A lot of different things can impact the work, but what's important is that when we start working with companies, we go with the things that this is something that we learned as well. It's not something that we made that mistakes as well, but we start with the things that they are their strengths. So, and then we add up some other things to fill in the holes. But we start with the things where they are good at. Like if they already have the content, or if they are already doing advertising and they've been seeing that some things are working, or if they have the huge community, or they have the strong social media presence of their most significant employees. Those are the things, leverage first those things where you can get to the core revenue first, and then start adding some other things.
I remember like one our conversation, like what are the worst C-level positions you don't want to see on the call? I mean, CTO. If I see CTO on a call, I knew exactly what's going on in that company, because I mean, I'm expecting CMO on the call, head of marketing, even CEO. But if I see CTO on call, I know what's going on, and probably we are not good fit, just like that.
Yeah, it all depends. What does it mean when the CTO is on the call? It means that he is either one of the co-founders, or he is the one that has built the product.
Usually.
And in that way, he's overprotective
Yeah.
of the product, especially if the product is something that not many customers are using yet.
Yeah.
Or not many clients.
It's usually feature-centric approach, like completely.
Yeah. The experience that I have is a couple of products that have been awarded as the innovative solutions, but they didn't make money out of them yet.
Product market fit.
Yeah, they just assume something and they come up with a product and they got the award for that. But the CTO was overprotective of the product, because like we are coming in and saying like these things are not good, these things are good. Not like, how come it's not good? I built it for 6 months.
Yeah. And I mean, it's our job to even offend you, but we are doing this for the sake of your business, for the sake of making new revenue. So our job is to tell you what's good, what's working, what's not. And usually they will take like really, really bad our honest feedback.
Like, bro, There's one thing I hope so is that you didn't spend much money developing that product. So that's the situation that's happening all the time. Because if you start talking with them, and with a lot of SaaS product-based companies, they're talking about the products, not about the problem. We are coming back to the problem again. Like, why did you build the product? Which problem is it solving? Is that there somebody that has their problem solved with the product already, or no? Like, those are the questions that every sales outreach person that really knows what he or she are doing will ask you. And they won't work with you if you don't have the right answers. And it's also the way we do things as well. So you need to build a product based on the problem, not based, like, let's be honest. Today, most of the products are built by developers sitting one next to each other into development based service company, and they came up with the idea. Two of them start working together. They quit the company and they start a startup working on their product. And so they call the sales guys first and they say, okay, so we need a sales guy. Why? Well, we have this idea of a product. No, you don't need a sales guy. Or you don't need even a marketing guy. So a lot of situations like that, and it's interesting, like, things are happening. It's interesting to see how the whole ecosystem is coming together. People are learning, and like, Europe is a little bit behind, especially when it comes to the revenue marketing, revenue operations, those kind of things. But I think we're getting there slowly, but getting there. US is ahead of everybody. But guys like us are helping others get there.
We are trying to balance.
Yeah. So guys, I think we covered enough. I think this episode was useful because we got really into the details of explaining the way we are choosing, the way we don't want to be chosen sometimes. And as I told you, write a post on LinkedIn, write a post on Twitter. Tell us how are you choosing your ICP? How's the discovery call going? How are you differentiating yourself? Is it on the price? Is it on the service? Is it on the people? Or some other way? Let's talk about it. In the meantime, Totsi, I have no idea what is the last song that I heard today.
You see.
But I'm sure you don't know either.
Well, I'm always listening some local radio, and I really don't notice. Believe me, for me, it's like just background noise.
Yeah, I maybe remember the last one I sang, but I think it's not relevant for the people. I hope so. So, guys, I can only tell you one thing. See you next week. Subscribe to the Funky Marketing Show on any platform, any of the biggest platforms that you're using: Spotify, Apple, Google, or Anchor, or even YouTube on our Funky Marketing channel. Subscribe to get the latest episodes. If you didn't already listen to all of them, like, there's so many gems hidden inside those episodes. There's not a bad episode. So go ahead, listen to them, and meet us in the future where we are going. So, Totsi, guys, keep it funky. See you next week.
Keep it funky. See you on LinkedIn. See you on Twitter. See us everywhere. Don't be a stranger.